Hello and welcome to our lesson on quadratics, factoring with numbers and variables, part 1. First, let's talk definition. A quadratic is an equation that usually has 3 terms to it. It's written in standard form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. A, b, and c are all what's called constants. That means they are numbers. A and b cannot equal 0 at the exact same time, and the term ax squared is always going to be written to the second power. If they give you x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals 0 and they tell you to factor it, factoring means you need to find stuff that multiplies together to create that quadratic. There is an 8-step method to factor using a t-chart. Don't let the fact that it's 8 steps scare you. They're pretty quick steps, and once you memorize them, you'll get them done in under 5 minutes, as opposed to doing the guess and check, which could take you a whole lot longer to do. Make sure, and here's step 1, make sure that all coefficients are reduced fully. So let's take a look. We have a 1, a 7, and then also the c, which is 12. Is there any number that goes into 1, 7, and 12 evenly? Nope, that's as far as it can be reduced, so we're good with that part. And then if you are, then you list a, b, and c. It looks kind of silly to list them out, but trust me, you're going to want to do that. If you have the list right there in front of you, it's a quick reference guide as opposed to trying to dig through the equation later and then accidentally dropping a number or dropping a sign. So let's list them out. A, there's nothing there, so it's assumed to be 1. B is 7, and C is 12. And notice I took the signs with them. 1 was a positive, 7 was another positive, and 12 was another positive. If any of those numbers had been negative, I would have written negative for them. Also, if you'll note, when I listed them right here, I did not include the x's. It's only the numbers. Never write the x squared or the x on your list of a, b, and c. Step 2 says fill out the left side of a t-chart. Why is it called a t-chart? Because it looks like the letter T. On the left side of the t-chart, you're always going to multiply a times c. This is where this lovely list comes in handy because you can just look back at it real quick and not have to dig through the equation. So for multiplying a times c, it's 1 times 12, and 1 times 12 is 12. On the left side of the t-chart, once you find the number you're looking for, you now have to list all the factors that create the number 12. In other words, what numbers can I multiply to make 12? Well, I know that 1 times 12 is 12. I also know 2 times 6 can be 12. And I can also multiply 3 times 4 and get 12. And each of these are positive numbers, or they can be negative numbers. Why is that? A positive 1 times a positive 12 will get you to a positive 12. A negative 1 times a negative 1 is going to get you to a negative 12. A negative 1 times a negative 12 will get you to the negative 12. Positive 2 times positive 6, or negative 2 times negative 6. Positive 3 times positive 4, or negative 3 times negative 4. So you have not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 factors, you have double those amounts because you have a positive version and a negative version of each of the factors. Once we've listed all these out, and I'm going to mark them as positive and negative so you don't forget, then we have to fill out the right side of the t-chart. And the right side of the t-chart is simply a recopy of what B is. Make sure that you still have your A equals, B equals, and C equals so you can reference them really quickly. Remember, A is 1, B is 7, and C is 12. So when we wrote B equals 7, that's where we got it from, is our list. What we're going to do on the right hand is we're going to take all these factors and we're going to add or subtract them and try to get them to equal 7. Only one of those is going to work, so we have to figure that out. So we're going to take positive 1 and add 12, and we're going to get 13. We're going to take negative 1 and subtract 12, and we're going to get negative 13. So that's it for the 1 and the 12. Then we're going to take a positive 2 and add 6. That's going to get you to a positive 8. Then you're going to take a negative 2, subtract 6, and that'll get you to a negative 8. And that's it for your 2 and your 6. Now we're going to go to 3 and 4. So we take a positive 3 and a positive 4, and that'll get you to 7. And we also have to take negative 3 minus 4, and that's going to get you to a negative 7. So you have all these different choices. Okay, but what we're looking for is the factors that actually add or subtract up to equal 7. These two didn't equal 7, the positive 1 and the positive 12, the negative 1 and the negative 12, positive 2, positive 6, negative 2, negative 6. Aha, here it is, right there. The other one didn't equal it either. So we've found our factors of 3 and 4. They both have to be positive, and they're going to equal positive 7, which is equal to our B. All right, let's review the first 4 steps. In order to factor a quadratic equation, use the T-chart method first. You're going to mark your A, B, and C. You're going to fill out the left side of the T-chart to find all your factors. Watch your signs, positives and negatives. Fill out the right side of the T-chart to see which set of factors add or subtract to the B value. Again, you have to watch your positives and negatives. And then just circle the factors that work. And now you should go to part 2 to see how we do the last 4 steps. And that's it for our lesson on quadratics, factoring with numbers and variables, part 1.